All right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST review. It is time for a fixed blade review. Don't do enough of those, and I'm trying to get more fixed blades in here through the channel so you guys can see more fixed blades. I obviously love folders, but it is important to keep some fixed blades coming through here for everybody. So it is time to review this one. This is my son's knife. Got this for Christmas. He loves this thing. Matter of fact, he's been hurrying me up to get it back. So as soon as I'm done with this, take some pictures of it, get it back to him. Say hi to Ren and Stimpy and Powdered Toast Man and the whole gang. The key here is to see how long Powdered Toast Man will stay standing. So let's get into this, guys. What a cool knife. Now, you guys know me. I'm not huge into Tontos or Tantos or whatever you want to call it. But this is a cool looking knife, and I'm actually glad my son, between the ring dagger that I did from Cold Steel and now this one, he has really opened my eyes to some styles of knife that I wouldn't typically go for. I'm more, especially in the fixed blade, I'm more of like outdoor use kind of knives that you can take out in the woods and hack at things and take with you when you're fishing and hack brush out of your way and get ready for a campfire and those kinds of things. But this is cool. And let's go through it and talk a little bit about it. So I wanted to start, I'm going to put this back real quick. I wanted to start by showing you the fairly typical packaging from Cold Steel. You got the box here with some of the specs. We'll come back over that in a moment. The model number up here, number 17T. There you go on that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is this really cool Kray-ex molded plastic sheath. Guys, this thing fits the knife extremely well. You have several options for mounting points, and you can change out the clip, but it comes with this really cool flat blade, good retention clip, guys. I've carried this probably 3 or 4 days recently, and I love the way this clip works for me. It has enough room here where you can tilt it slightly if you want to, and it stays there. So I really, really like that. The retention is pretty unbelievable. It's great. It does have the drain hole. So yeah, it is not coming out of there unless you want it to. And of course, just a little push with the thumb and it's going to come out. So I think that's great. You can hear it just snap in there and snap out. So just really well done. I'm more of a Kray-ex person most of the time, but I dig this one very, very much. I think that's a perfect sheath for this particular knife. So let's talk some aesthetics first, and then we'll go into some specs. So it has this Kraton or Kray-ex, which is a Cold Steel form of Kraton handle. I will say that it is grippy. It is very, very grippy. And the only thing with that is I could see where over, really hard grip for a lot of work or tasks or whatever, it may very much sort of irritate your hands a little bit because it is very aggressive. But my guess is after some use and holding, that's going to wear in and be great. And again, just for holding it right now, it's not a big deal, but it is very, very aggressive, as you can see, the pattern there. Very nice. Has a little ridge here for the guard, and I think that will work very, very nicely. As a matter of fact, it does work very nicely. I've used it, cut quite a few things with it. Didn't really take it out and hack at a tree because, again, when it's not my knife, I don't really do that. But it definitely sliced through paper. I cut up, was it a tomato? It was something like that, and cut into a couple boxes, and it did a really good job. So there's the only branding here is the Kobun or Kobun. I'm not really sure. I think it's Kobun, and then Cold Steel, and then in this case made in Taiwan, and AUS 8A steel. AUS 8A steel is a good overall steel for this kind of knife. I think it's going to hold up very well. It's going to take an edge. As a matter of fact, it came a little ragged out of the box, so I stropped it on my leather strop, which, guys, I know I promised a leather strop. I bought that leather strop off of Amazon, and I promised kind of a little review of it, and I just haven't got to it. I need to do that. But for this, it worked great. And you can see we got this nice little sweep to the blade. And again, it's a compound grind. You guys know how that's tough for me in sharpening. I've said that before, but in this case, I was able to get pretty much to every inch of this with the strop. Now, if I have to do a full grind, a full edge on it with my land ski, that might be a little more difficult. But anyway, we shall see. So it is a full flat grind. And by the way, when we did strop it, it came back to life very nicely. It is a sharp knife, and it is a flat grind, as you can see. And up on the flats here, the satin goes this way, and down on the blade, it goes that way. And it gives it this really nice contrast. Really beautiful. I had to double check the manufacturer's Cold Steel's literature, because, man, it sure almost looks like a hollow grind to me, but they swear up and down it's flat grind, so we're going to go with that. The spine does appear to be very close to 90 degree. Again, it's a tactical knife, so I'm not sure who's going to be using it with a fire steel, but if you needed to, with the uncoated blade and the 90 degree spine, you could definitely, in my opinion, I haven't tried it, but I bet you could do that. It does taper down at the edge from that compound grind, and would be I stabbed a couple boxes with it just to see. It would be a very stabby, pokey kind of knife here. So let's get into some stats. I'm going to sit it down so I can get over here next to where I can actually see. It is 9.875 inches long overall. And just let's see if I got a couple knives here that I can put up there. So this is the Civivi, the button lock Elementum. So for those of you that kind of know the basic size of an Elementum, again, I don't typically do a lot of comparisons, but I thought that was a pretty good one for this. So you can see it's almost a 10-inch knife, and so that's what we have there. So the next part is the actual, well, if I can talk, the handle length is 4.375, and the blade length is 5.5 inches. So it's a really nice sized blade, and the handle, I mean, there's plenty of room on that handle. You can choke back and do a pinch grip. You can choke up. Now, it's if you look at this right here, it tells you that the handle thickness, the blade thickness, excuse me, is 3.5 millimeters. And I think that's good. And now with this rubber, the rubber tapers on either end to not much thicker than the blade stock, a little bit. But then it humps out in the middle, so they've swelled it, and it just fills your hand really nicely. However, it's good and thin. I mean, it's not bulky at all, but it fits your hand really, really well. The ergos are really, really good, and the balance, if I can do this without dropping it, the balance, anyway, it's right about there, right about at that guard, and it's just, I mean, it's wonderful. Again, I think the word Kobun in Japanese is something like soldier. So this is a very tactical. You can get that katana vibe out of it, which is what drew my son to it. He just loves that kind of stuff. I think he's going to be getting more Cold Steels that have unique blade shapes. I can just see it, but he just loves this kind of stuff. So again, tactical knife. It is the Cold Steel 17T Kobun. And again, almost 10 inches long, 5.5 inch blade. And I don't know if I said the weight, it's 4.4 ounces. So as far as you being able to get a hold of one, it might be a little tough. I got this back at Christmas and I had trouble finding one. I finally got it, I think on Amazon, on Blade HQ's store on Amazon, but they didn't have it at Blade HQ and they still don't. I don't see one right now at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. So just do some poking, guys. I think they might have had one at Knife Works. I'll try to put a good link down in the bio if I can find, and in the description if I can find one. But it's just a really cool knife, and I'm starting to see why so many people love Cold Steel knives. They're just unique, and they're just well done, and they are sharp. So there you go, the Cold Steel Kobun. And let me know what you think of it down in the comments, guys. I'll be really interested in. My son will be even more interested in me giving this back to him. So give me a like, comment, Subscribe if you feel like it, if you think the content is worth it. And thanks so much for watching the KnivesFAST channel.